Hello everyone, welcome to the Elizabeth Show. And today, I'm gonna bring up a cool topic today. How many of you like fairy tales? Anyone? Yeah, fairy tales? Any of you fairy tale addicts? Yeah, come on, yeah, raise those hands. Yeah. Well, guess what, guys? I'm in a show called Sister Fairies. How many of you have heard of that character named Cheryl Rojo Cinnamon? I play the role of that red fairy with the brown wings and the brown flower on her head. You see how I have a brown flower on my head? Same genetics, just in a children's show. Now you're probably thinking, they picked my voice for Cheryl Cinnamon because they knew I would fit the part. And yeah, I was in so many good episodes. If any of you are watching season 4, please tell me how it is, because I'm literally in episode 1 all the way through episode 11. So when you guys see me on Sister Fairies, make sure that you pay attention to the voice of Cheryl Cinnamon. I'm the red fairy with the brown wings. Remember that. I have the red ruby crystal gem to create all cinnamon. That includes cinnamon products such as cinnamon candies, cinnamon beverages, anything that's cinnamon. And you know what's funny, everyone? I actually love cinnamon myself. I eat cinnamon most of the time. Yes, even though I eat my strawberry jam, also known as my strawberry jelly, I do crave cinnamon most of the times. And guess what my favorite thing is? I like cinnamon rolls. I like cinnamon pretzels, churros. Yes, I love funnel cakes, don't get it wrong. Yes, I love pumpkin pie. Come on, you guys are teasing me out here, come on. I love snickerdoodles, that carries cinnamon also. And you guys probably are wondering, why do I play Cheryl Cinnamon? Well, if you look at the picture of Sister Fairies right here, you're gonna see Cheryl Cinnamon. See her? She's right there. That's me. I'm Cheryl Cinnamon. And when you hear Cinnamon's voice, that character Cinnamon that you see, that's my voice talking for Cinnamon. And I know some of you have probably thought, oh yeah, Sister Fairies is the creator of the Fork Sisters, but here's the funny thing about Sister Fairies. It's nothing like the Fork Sisters at all. Sister Fairies is based on archangels in disguise as fairies. Especially candy fairies, like the Cotton Candy Twins, Candace the Candy Fairy, Marsha the Marshmallow Fairy, and of course, Melissa as the Black Licorice Fairy, the one channeling all that molasses. Notice how I hang out with Black Licorice the most when I'm in Sister Fairies. You know, as a red fairy with brown wings. I always hang out with Black Licorice. And then there was an episode where we hung out with Miss Cow, and then there was another one where I hung out with Lava. That was in episode 11 of season 4. In episode 6 of season 3, I was in the episode of Miss Cow, and then I was in the greatest episode from season 2 called The House of Black Licorice, where I would crave black licorice. And you know what's funny? I don't really like black licorice. I like cinnamon though, but I don't like black licorice. So, the creators had me play the part where I have to love black licorice. You see what I mean? You see the whole twist right there? I don't like black licorice. I'm just playing the part like I do like it, as a red fairy with brown wings. Now, you would never picture me as a fairy, right? Well, I'm the voicing Cinnamon, so yeah, I'm totally in that show, just as the voice backgrounder, that's all. Nope, they never show me in any other part, except Cinnamon. And did you know that I have the voice, also over, I also kind of talk over Miss Pickles. You guys know Miss Pickles, right? She's that new teacher teaching all the fairies. Well, my voice is kind of in her, yeah. Technically, I can act 2 voices. Rojo Cinnamon and, Miss Pickles. You guys want to hear? You guys want to hear how I can talk like Miss Pickles? Alright, here I go. Alrighty, my Sister Fairies. We're gonna have a great education today. We're gonna do something fun, my Sister Fairies. And we're gonna go over here, my Sister Fairies. Hey, you guys can call me Miss Pickles. And then I can also talk in this voice too. You can call me Miss Pickles. You can call me Miss Pickles. Yeah, see? I can talk in those voices too. You would never think Elizabeth Fuchsia would ever talk for Miss Pickles. Yeah, I do. My voice is secretly inside her. All I have to do is get into that old lady voice when really she's a young teacher. But yeah, I totally fooled the masses on that one. You guys didn't see that coming, huh? Y'all thought I was just a regular comedy person. Well, I'm a comedy fork. It's made out of plastic and I'm pink. I love pink. I love acting. And yes, I love the idea that I created this show on purpose. It was to give people an idea. Give people an open window. That this show was no coincidence. I knew I would be part of my own single show because, well, it was planned in my DNA. I literally had to think about something and said, hey, here's a show. Yeah. But like I said, Sister Fairies is totally not the Fork Sisters at all. But yes, it is the creators from the Fork Sisters, but it's not the Fork Sisters. It's Fork Fairies. And they titled the show Sister Fairies, so that way you get a little hint of the word sister, as in the Fork Sisters. Instead of saying the Fork Fairies, they called it Sister Fairies, which made more sense. And knowing that I'm playing the role of Cheryl Cinnamon and Miss Pickles, I told myself, I'm a pretty good actor. Like, I'm like the shapeshifter of comedy. Like, I could derive in any part that someone gives me, and boom, I can knock it right out of the park. Just like that. And if you're wondering if any of the other fairies have like that squeaky voice, don't get it twisted. Those voices are natural, well, it's only from one natural actor who talks for the character. So it's basically one actor talking in high falsetto voices for all those fairies that you saw on screen. And someone was asking, is that the voice of Calamari or Vanilla White? Well, actually neither. You see, the actor channels a similar voice to Vanilla White and Calamari, but those are not Calamari or Vanilla White's voices. Those fairies are pretty decent how their voices are made. They're made high-pitched for a reason, while I'm this fairy with a natural deeper voice with deeper tones and deeper baritones. So yeah, they chose me as Cinnamon because they knew my voice sounded kind of like a cinnamon bark. And when you try cinnamon bark, it actually tastes pretty good. Did you know that when you burn cinnamon, it shows natural cinnamaldehydes, which means cinnamaldehydes is basically cinnamon turned brown into red. So when you put cinnamon in fire, it turns red. And then I told myself, oh, I am so gonna get that part of playing that character. I so am. I remember when I was in the first pilot, I was in this pilot called Audition of Season 1 of Sister Fairies. I was that red cinnamon fairy that you saw, singing that song about cinnamon. And they wanted my voice to sound a little bit younger, but that was only in the first pilot. But as soon as the other episodes came out, I just talked in my natural, deeper voice. And a lot of the executives from Konjo Koton Studios loved the idea. Like, they said, hey, that's a good idea. Voice over Rojo Cinnamon, and you got your role. You got your pay coming. So, as I'm working on this, show, behind the scenes of the Elizabeth show, people are, like, so stunned, because they're like, how did you get this far to fame and fortune? Well, I'm just gonna say, I guess I'm one of God's chosen children, I guess I gotta kind of like put like a lot of effort and just say, hey, here I am. People have been so curious because every time they watch Sister Fairies, they're like, that voice sounds so much like Elizabeth. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's my voice. Talking in cinnamon. Yeah, that's my voice exactly. Like, I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I know that's my voice. Especially when I hear it. I know that's me. That's totally me. Because I'm talking for that character named Cinnamon. Yeah. And I did a lot, growing up out here in Southern California. You know, when I was designed and thought of in California, we weren't thought of until 2011, but then our show got released in 2024, which would explain how the same timing as Sister Fairies came in our perfect hand. But see, Sister Fairies was a show thought of in the month of May. Then it was launched in August for its first pilot of August 2nd, 2024. And yes, I played in that part in the show of Rojo Cinnamon. And when we finished our 20th episode of the Fork Sisters called Sky, they wanted me as Elizabeth to voice over Cinnamon, and I said, oh, that sounds great, because episode 20 comes out on the same date as August 2nd, so I thought, yeah. So we were acting out, and they wanted me to play Rojo Cinnamon during the month of July, you know, when it was summer solstice. And of course, you guys can see, it was a perfect time to get that out of the way. Of course, I had to make everything, you know, sparkle just right. And if you guys watched episode 7 of Sister Fairies, there I go again as Rojo Cinnamon popping up out of nowhere talking to Sarah Winter, and I told her she really iced that audition. And I was like, yeah, she did. She did better than me, actually. I'm kind of jealous in a way, but no, I'm not as jealous, but I guess you could say. She gave it all her world, you know. Yeah. It was good for her, actually. I still think to this day, could I have done better? Of course I do better. Unlike the main voice of Cinnamon. What am I talking about? I did great. Yes, I nailed the audition because, I don't know, I just had different ways of looking at showbiz. I guess I saw myself in a different way where things looked more, you know, valuable. And then I started challenging myself to a timeline where could I ever play these parts again in the same exact way how I played them before? And I said, yes, of course I could. You know, all I have to do is just get in my acting position and start rolling. Of course, in that time, if I was ever ready to do anything seriously, I have to do it and challenge it in the way how they would tell me to challenge myself. And like, I would have to channel all these different things all at once. And it wasn't just because I was good at it. I just knew what I was doing. I just knew what I was gaping at, you know? But I'm so glad I'm bringing up this topic segment. Sorry that this wasn't as comedy as you guys expected it. But it's okay, because I'm sharing the whole, you know, story on how I channeled from one show to another all the way to here. So technically I played in 3 shows. The Fork Sisters, Sister Fairies, and now my show, The Elizabeth Show. I've been around a lot of 3-staging process changes throughout my life. And I'm still young! We're about to release season 2 of The Fork Sisters in 2027. But we're planning on doing a Fork Sisters movie between this year. So, if I'm gonna be in a movie called The Fork Sisters Movie, and I'm still doing my, you know, TV show, The Elizabeth Show, I'm gonna be walking from this studio to that studio, like, I'm gonna be pretty much everywhere. Oh, and then, yes, I gotta be part of Sister Fairies. Again. So yeah, I'm gonna be pretty much walking this way, walking that way, walking that way, walking that way, and yeah, I'm gonna be pretty much doing a lot of studio work. So yeah. I'm a very chosen main character for a lot of action. I mean, shoot, hell. You don't see my sister Brittany playing in any other shows. You just see her in the Fork Sisters, but my voice has been channeled in almost every epic idea. People have been, like, talking about me. Like, even when I close out the Elizabeth show, people always talk to me. They're like, Elizabeth, you're so blessed and lucky that you get to play all these characters. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes I get kind of jagged and tired, but I realize, hey, if I want to make money, keep myself in character and just say, hey, yay to the money, yay to the money. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta really, like, put myself out there in real perspective. And as you guys look at this picture, you see me right there, see? That's us as the Fork Sisters. Now the picture over here, there's Sister Fairies. Notice how I'm in the picture. Rojo Cinnamon, ever since 2024. That's the old classic picture. But here's the new picture of Sister Fairies that we know today. Notice how the logo has the half rainbow spectrum. Pretty soon, Sister Fairies is thinking about releasing an entire circle rainbow spectrum. You know, when the show climbs up to the highest tree. They're really working on that, but we won't know until season 6 or season 7 when they get that whole circle spectrum all lined up. Right now, we just see the half rainbow spectrum of Sister Fairies, but when we see that whole circle, people are gonna be like, whoa. They're like, we can't wait to see it because that spectrum circle will look like this picture over here, as you can see. You see that picture? People were flying on helicopters, taking a picture exactly of that right there that you see. Pretty graphic, right? For a picture like that? Yeah. The people out there knew what they were doing. They were trying to discover what the whole rainbow would look like. And it turns out, yeah, the rainbow is a whole entire circle. Kind of like staring at a rainbow frisbee, except you don't have to worry about that arch, or whatever Chinese fan they call it. Because when you look at half a rainbow looks like a Chinese fan, or some people call it just the arch itself. But notice how the rainbow has 7 colors. All those spectrum colors, from red to orange, yellow, green, indigo blue, regular blue, also known as the dark blue itself, and then purple, along with white, pink, brown. Did I say white? Oh yeah, I did. And then gray is also in the rainbow. So there's pretty much a lot of colors that we haven't seen. And they even say when we go to heaven, we're gonna see colors that we haven't seen in our life. We're talking about colors that are living in the rainbow spectrum. You know, we always see the main colors like turquoise or even mint green, when technically there's more colors than just that. I know, the science is mad when you think about it, because all those colors, just for one simple rainbow, you would never think that. No, it's true. Yeah, it's true. That whole rainbow spectrum is so beautiful. And notice how I'm pink. I totally match the rainbow spectrum. My character Cinnamon, you know, the one that I voice over, Cinnamon herself, she's part of the red rainbow spectrum. This has been such an interesting story that I'm telling you guys. This is true. Sister Fairies is still making a big comeback. They're about to start working on season 5. They're gonna bring back Galaxy and Starlight, but this time it's part 2 of the first pilot of season 5. The first episode of Starlight and Galaxy was on season 4, episode 8. It was the best episode. It was the best episode right after Miss America aired. Now, some of you have probably seen Miss America, all about those fireworks, and then as soon as Galaxy and Starlight hit the screen, everything started climbing up very, very tall, and that's when things started to get more interesting than ever. And then, after that, just the whole season of season 4 just really tied up really perfectly. You guys have seen season 4. You guys know what it's like. All those songs! Season 4 has created their 100 mark. You know what that means? Season 4 finished over 100 songs within one whole season. Okay? The first episodes started off with 7 tracks. Oh, but here's the funny thing. Episode 13 released 7 tracks as well. So pretty much, the first episode all the way to the 13th episode gave us all 7 tracks in separate albums. And here's the punchline. This is where it gets better. Why is there 100 songs? Because the last album from episode 14 has the total of 9 soundtracks, which completes the 100th century mark. I know, right? It's trippy. How season 4 made the most music. Season 2 and season 3 from Sister Fairies did not make much music like that. Nah, season 4 was very gifted for that time period. They say season 4 is probably like the most superior season of Sister Fairies ever known to man. I mean, let's think about it. Let's name all the episodes from from episode 1 to episode 14. And I'm gonna tell you what all the names are. Here's all the episodes' names. Here's the first names. We have New Teacher, The Butterscotch Fairy, The House of Chocolate, Birthday Cake, Bluebell, Laffy Taffy, and of course, Miss America, Galaxy and Starlight, Strawberry Lemonade, Honey Mustard, The Lava Fairy, My Identical Twin 5. This one says The Subtraction. Sorry, it took me a long time to read that. Yeah, The Subtraction. And then finally, but not least, everyone, Miss Pickle's House. All 14 episodes in that 30-minute launch sequence. Every episode of Sister Fairies is now claiming to be under 30 minutes. That's just how it is. My show, however, is only 20 minutes, and that's the Elizabeth show. And it looks like the time is up, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed this whole long process story on how I starred in Sister Fairies as Cheryl Rojo Cinnamon. Thank you, everyone, for watching the Elizabeth show. This has been very amazing. Woo!